think he likes confined spaces.
The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building. Now for the next step. This lever must turn on the gas machine.
We didn't get all the levers then, did we?
This valve controls the pressure.
Note to staff. Last week's incident caused significant damage to the infrastructure, putting a stop to current experiments. This is unacceptable. From now on, the wheels to operate the gas stockpiles must be kept in the storage room after each use. Moreover, you must keep the register of use up to date. Dr. Fuller. Ooh, they in trouble. Nailed it.
Perfect.
Hey, Marco, how's it going? Why? What'd you do?
The piping hasn't burst. Not yet, anyway.
Ah. Mr. Important over here. Alright, I need to find another valve and another switch.
It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Yeah, that guy kept catching me. Making my life hard.
The door is blocked on the other side.
Let the lamp away. Thank you. Making my life very hard, dude. Go away. Go away. That's right, you better run. You better leave. Hit you with a lean. Aha. Found the other wheel. And there's still a switch. Sneaky snake.
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? My new friend's sleeping pills. Scopolamine, morphine, opium. Nothing but common drugs.
You weren't supposed to come this way. Haha! Nailed it. First try.
The piping hasn't burst. Not yet, anyway.
We need to go higher? That's red line, that's red line. This is not redlining. That's redlining. Everything's redline. Alright, let's blow it up!
I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Well, let's go. Almost caught me. Alright, so we needed to go this way.
Doctor, is that you?
Why do I know that name?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where?
Why do I know
I
that name?
can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
What is the exact nature of the beast you're running away from?
You've got instinct, a sensitivity for the invisible. It puts you in danger. The creature that is pursuing me is not from our world.
After what I've seen so far on this island, I'm ready to believe.
Yeah, me too.
Don't do that! Do not believe, or you'll end up like us all.
What happened to you, Sanders?
The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, I was dying.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
I saw the traces of a revocation ritual in Sarah Hawkins' office. Is it connected to this curse?
She tried to correct her mistakes.
Tell me the truth.
She tried everything. She told me. But she failed. And that's what counts.
Skill
What's
issue.
going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. No, don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
The Shambler.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me. No!
Sanders!
Oh god!
What?
That kills people.
Hell?
Oh, his knee!
I gotta...
Panic attack! Panic attack! Rightfully so.
This is insane. What killed him?
I don't know, but I think we're a little out of our depth there. I think that this could have something to do with it. Big old Cthulhu. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Ah, it gassed me.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Okay, you died. I don't know how you're here. Like, he just straight up died. Like, fist through the gut. Dead. It's Cthulhu!
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
What?
Fine. Do what you want.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the Force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
It's an interesting
Who
view.
else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Let's talk to Colden, because I don't trust Bradley.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
I don't know.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
So, I mean, treatment in mental asylums for a very long time was just really, really bad. It wasn't treatment.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you
everything.
two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
So either Bradley is like some kind of shapeshifter, or somebody's taken on his form, or all of that was a nightmare.
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
That's the important part. That's what we're missing.
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
Someone did deface Brendan's statue.
Delinquents. Hoodlums. You got nothing more solid than that?
Yeah, they're just writing one of the oldest alphabets in history. Yeah, just regular run-of-the-mill vandals. Some bored teenagers that just happened to know Phoenician.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably
That's
how they
why
met.
he was in the book.
If you plan on having
That's
dinner
why I
at the
remember his
Sanders
name.
household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
I mean, I think she's right. Like, we don't know what happened. All I saw was this guy float in the air and get broken up. Like,
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow.
this will affect
Perhaps
your
I'll
destiny.
find a link
What?
between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Okay, apparently I just affected my destiny. Which means shit's about to get weird. I'm not seeing anything to interact with. Alright.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
I know.
That is
Oh god!
precisely what brings me here.
I was there.
Well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
I mean, yeah, your husband just like floated in the air and oh god, got his kneecap broken, got his his knee, his head ripped open. Yeah.
I gotta...
May I
Not too
inquire
crazy.
as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Had this attack. He died screaming right before my eyes. It was horrible. I had a panic attack. It was really, really bad. We're
I
gonna be
expected to
prudent.
find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I
don't
need
think
to
that was the right line.
understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute. And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
We're gonna roll for eloquence.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much, at least.
I'm here to get drunk. I'm talking to her because she can get me drunk. It's not a hard connection to make, Mr. Detective.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
I deduce that your husband already mentioned this dimensional shambler.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you are so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
So how does she know what happened to him? I didn't tell her.
The day the shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Photograph of Sarah Hawkins next to the Sanders. They must be close. Flashbang. Hang on. Green screen's messed up. There we go.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
He did buy a lot of paintings.
A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Still missing something. Ah. That wasn't there.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
It's so bright. Oh. Okay, I think that was a bug.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Ah! Oh God!
The shambler. I need to see it.
You just saw him claw his eyes out for seeing it, and now we want to go look at it? I don't think that's the play, my guy.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Okay.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Yeah, I don't think we should, Did that just move? That moved, didn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tim. I didn't tell her I was there. I don't know how she knows I saw him die.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
Yeah, like, I'm not here to deal with her right now. Like...
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
No, you beat the shit out of me. I don't even know what the book is. It's kind of encyclopedia of monstrous and unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe they exist. Okay. Malleus Bestiarium. But that was volume 2. Where's the other one?
An old diary.
This volume spends some time on Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries about the strange dreams that the Reverend's congregation are having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a messenger by God. As a messenger sent by God. By God! She is scared that they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Dear Francis, I beg you to give up all hope of ever owning this accursed painting. If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend, forget the shambler. Your friend, Sarah Hawkins. Well, I mean, she tried to make him not get it. More medicine books.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Amerindian. Never heard that. An ancient amulet, probably Amerindian. I wonder what its purpose could be.
I could use one of those.
Everybody has sleeping pills. Well, yeah, I kind of figured. Like, it's a little on the nose. But, I've never heard that, though. Oh god. Pierce, I think it is time to relocate.
What the hell was that?
Oh, that immediately makes me panic. I mean, rightfully so. Interdimensional horror, I would panic as well. Am I good? The fuck?
I can't even touch it.
So how do I get out? Shit!
No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it.
Oh no, he saw me get in.
That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it. Damn. This might be able to lift the curse on the painting.
Yeah, go shamble that way. Yeah, there we go. Stab his ass! Ah! Yeah! No, I was allergic to his bullshit. Do it!
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand?
Using only one
You're
dagger.
using it,
Yeah,
detective.
one dagger.
At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Yeah.
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it, from what I saw in the ledgers. It was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Yeah.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller.
She
I still
knew
got things to settle
the
with
whole time.
Irene.
She knew that thing was going to attack me. And just let me walk in there.